Well, hello, everyone. It is Brenda here for Stamplicity, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday. Now, I do apologize. I know this is a pre-recording, but I had another commitment this evening in terms of a meeting. So I did not want to cancel, so I did a pre-recording. All right. So this evening we are going to explore the CrafTreat do-it-yourself lanterns that we just got in, and these are just so amazing, amazing. I'm going to show you how wonderful they really are, how easy to put them together. And the cool thing is that you can reuse these year after year because you can actually take them apart and they will lay flat like they are in the packaging. So I just selected two from our wall of do-it-yourself lanterns. We have, I think, 10 different varieties. I think that's what we have. And I picked the Christmas tree and the snowman because those are my two favorites. All right. So everything is going to be in here. All right. Lights are not included. You do need a little bit of an adhesive, but honestly, that is it. All right. I'm just going to kind of say they're easy to assemble, magical to display, perfect for gifting, and reusable every year. But super sweet. These are awesome to put the little twinkle lights in. All right, so it's battery operated twinkle lights, and it's also battery operated tea lights would work as well. All right, so but they do cast a nice little glow. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to start with the snowman. And then we'll move our way to the Christmas tree. So everything, like I said, is in here. All right. So let me open this up, which is probably the hardest part. Oh, the opening is on the top here. So when you get one of these lanterns, you are going to go ahead and empty the contents. There is a little flap at the bottom that's going to hold everything. So just be careful that nothing falls out. And then you're going to have a bunch of laser cut elements. All right. So we've got the little snowman. I'm just fixing my camera here. We have the snowman face. Then we have the red elements. And I'm not sure if they, oh, look, yes, the camera is picking up. Look at that beautiful glitter paper. It is beautiful. All right, so these are all laser cut. So you just want to pop them out. If you want, you can take a pair of scissors, but they'll pop out really nicely. And you just kind of they have tiny little tabs there. You're just going to break it apart and then break the components out. I'm going to leave my snowman face in there because we all know I'll probably lose it. All right, and here is a black one. Look at the glitter on that. Oh my gosh. And you're just gonna pop out. This is gonna be the hat. I think I got like carried away. I didn't even like actually go through what's all in the kit, but we'll get there. I'm just doing all the components because, this is how easy it is. All right. Then I have a bunch of these vellum pieces. All right. These are laser cut pieces, and they are vellum. So I'm just going to put them to the side. We will come back to them. All right. And then we're going to have the different pieces here. All right. So I love the fact that they layer everything in there. So I'm just going to pop the main pieces out of here. This is going to create that snow globe or the body of the or the snowman. All right. The lantern part. And then these are the lantern panels. And you're just going to pop them out. And this is specialty paper too, all right? I don't know if it's pearlized, all right? So some of it's glittered, some of it's pearlized. All right, so let's pop these out. This is a great, little activity if you have kids or grandkids, as you're decorating for the holidays. This will keep them busy for a little bit. And it's just something, they know that they helped create, and it doesn't cost very much, and it's really pretty, and it's reusable, which is awesome too. So, all right, one more. Doo-doo. All right, there is that. Okay, and then our next paper here is the main snowman body. So I'm going to be very careful and pop that out. I mean, they just make this so easy. All right, so those are all my pieces ready to go. Then the instructions are here. I love the fact that there's written instructions, but most importantly, I love that there are picture instructions, all right? So I am not actually going to start here. I'm actually going to start here just so that my glue sets, all right? So those vellum pieces, all right, will go behind our little panels here, all right? So when something is laser cut or die cut out, you can always see that there's a front and a back. One way will look just a little bit cleaner. So this is my front, this is my back. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna use a fine line glue. I'm just gonna use my glue press here. And I'm just going to put a line of glue just around the perimeter, the frame of these panels. Then there's no right or wrong way for the vellum. And I am just going to place that on. Okay, give it a little burnish, make sure things get stuck, and let that glue dry. So I'm going to do that for all 6 panels. And you might have to just double check to make sure the little innards are all out. This one has a little button that didn't pop out, so I'm just going to make sure that is out. And we will glue the vellum behind here. This is the only thing you will need in terms of supplies is a fine line glue, and it's for what I'm doing right now. Everything else, there's no glue, there's no adhesive. All right, so this is what makes it so easy to do. All right, so just going to continue building on this and get all my panels done. I cannot believe like the amount of Christmas product we are getting in. I know it's September. I know, I know. I just don't want to think about Christmas yet, but these are really pretty. So these were actually I got to see these at a show in Las Vegas when I went down to Las Vegas, a consumer a retailer show, and they came out and they had a whole shelf of these, and they were carrying this shelf around, and they were all aglow, all the different styles. It was the most beautiful display ever. 1, 2, 3. Looks like they give you an extra vellum just because, or I got an extra piece of vellum, but I'm pretty sure my other one that I did had a piece of extra vellum just in case. All right, so there is our panels. They have the vellum behind it. So we're gonna let them dry. And I might as well now start doing my body. So I'm gonna go to the first step here. It says insert die cut 2 into die cut 1 at the top and bottom as well. So die cut 1, they have it labeled. And then, so the die cut 1 is the big snowman, and then die cut 2 is going to be one of these round ones. So I'm going to pop the little elements out of here. You don't want to get rid of these little elements because that inside piece is something you absolutely need. All right. So you don't want to get rid of that. So I'm going to do both right now just because then all my pieces are popped out. All right. Okay, so we have number 1, we've got number 2. So what we're gonna do, you'll notice that there are little slits on here, all right? So what we're gonna do is, as the instruction says, we're going to put number 1 and 2 together. So I'm gonna do the bottom, and then I'm just gonna gently blend the paper so that I can get that piece hooked in, all right? And that's hooked in, no adhesive, all right? So there's that. Then it says diagonally align die cut number 3, which is this one, ensuring both ends fit into the designated openings of die cuts 1 and 2. All right, so now I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to put that, we're going to put this diagonally. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Everything's going to fit together. All right, and now you can see that body of that snowman taking place. Again, everything is just inserted into the little slits. Easy peasy. All right. So now it says within the snowman belly structure, position the circled die cut piece at the base, ensuring all grooves are properly aligned and securely interlocked so that the pieces lie flat. That is this piece here. All right. So this is a circular piece. All right. And then all the grooves are fit. These little slits here are where the circular pieces that we just put in are going to fit in. So I'm going to take this piece and I am now going to position at the bottom of our little and just rotate these little circular pieces, the ones that we put on first, until they line up to each of those little slits. All right, so there is that. All right, so that becomes our base. And I will tell you, there is a little, you got to get underneath a little groove so it lays flat. See, there's a little groove in there. Again, just go one at a time and just slightly bend that paper. All right, it is paper. You need to be gentle, but it's got some substance to it, but just hook it in. All right, I think I got them all. All right, so now that piece is nice and stable at the bottom. All right, I've got it hooked in. Okay, the next thing was our vellum pieces, which we've done already. So now what we're going to do is align and insert the intricate side die cuts into the designated grooves positioned at both the top. Oops, you know what? I missed a step. I missed the last sentence here. I've got to put the top one on. We've got the second one. We got to put the top one on. I was like, oh, we need to put that on. All right, so this one goes in same way, but on the top. So if you have to flip it upside down, then go ahead. And you're just going to insert each of those and just click them. I want to say click them into place, but they're not really not clicking, but they just really kind of just pop into place. You just have to fold it just a little bit. All right, I think I did it. Yes, they are all in. All right, now we've got it. Now we're going to take each of these pieces, and this is how easy it is. You'll notice that there is an arrow kind of on the top and bottom. These are going to go in, and so I do the bottom one first, and then I'm going to do the top one. And they just go and pop in place. Give it a little wiggle if it doesn't go in, but they will just kind of hook into place, and they will not fall out because they have that little kind of, oops, I just bent up one of the, they have that little overhang on both sides. So you're going to do that with all of them. All right, so just insert on one end, and then very carefully just kind of roll it in and give it a little wiggle, and it will go in. And look, at our lantern is taking shape. Really easy, right? All right, so one at a time. And then we're going to kind of roll that so it curves, and then insert, give it a little wiggle. Okay, and let's keep on going. I don't know if it's easier to do the top or the bottom first. I'm not sure. I'm going to try. I don't think it really matters. So whatever's easiest to you, you can go top or bottom. One more. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. The last one's always going to be the trickiest because, just because. All right, and then that one. All right, we got them all in. I just smushed this one though. All right, so this one here, I kind of pushed in and now it's not sitting right. So all you need to do is pop out that little tab and it will come out, and then you can fix it. This is what I mean. They're reusable. You just have to be gentle taking them apart. They are still, you know, fragile. All right, there is our little snowman. How cute is he? Oh my goodness. All right, so now let's go ahead and decorate. Now this one is still catching on the side here, so I'm just gonna grab my tweezers and pop it out. There we go. All right, This one is it's just hitting the paper side there, so I can just go ahead and pop it out with a pair of tweezers or anything that's pointy. All right, so there we go. That one's not in all the way. Okay, lovely. There's our snowman. All right, so the final part now is we're going to just go ahead and decorate. Now it does say color the eyes, nose, and mouth. So this one here, you do have to do some coloring on here. So I'm just gonna grab my markers. I have black here, so these are just, this is a paint pen, whatever, but I'm just gonna do a quick color on the eyes and the mouth. All right, and now I need an orange. All right, so let's see what I got for orange here. Oh, there's one. Nice bright orange. Okay, so that is done. I'm gonna let that dry, but now let's go ahead and put our pieces together. So I don't know, you can tell again, there's a front and a back. So all these little pieces now will line up. So this is the hat. So the hat, we're just gonna line up and it just matches perfectly. Okay. And then this is his little scarf. Now the little scarf has a little slit in it, and that little slit, I just have a little innard here. That little slit will go right over top of the slit that is made for the base. All right, so you're just going to go ahead and put that in, and then you'll see that it lines up perfectly. So I'm just going to remove that so I can put my glue on. I always like to dry fit things first. Okay. Oopsie. All right, so we're just going to slide that in. Okay, so we have that on. And then what else do we have here? We have the little red banner for his hat. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. And again, this will fit perfectly. Everything is meant to fit lovely. Oops, I got glue everywhere. Good thing it dries clear. Oh, I'm making just a big, oh my gosh, that just slid right off. Specialty paper, right? Don't fuss with it. I always tell you that. All right, there we go. Okay, then we have his little arms. And again, make sure, I always like to dry fit to figure out where they go. All right, so this one obviously is on this side. So a little bit of glue. Now I like using liquid glue because it gives me that little time to slide things. If I don't get it perfectly lined up, this way I have time to slide it into perfect position. All right, there's that one. And then we will do this one. And then we'll put his face on and our snowman lantern will be done. Now this is the first time I've done a snowman, all right? So look how cute he is. He needs a face, so. He needs a face. Okay, so I'm gonna put the nose on first. All right, then we have his little mouth. These little pieces colored beautifully too. All right, so like I said, one was a paint pen and one was an alcohol ink marker. So the material that it's laser cut from the paper, it just cuts out beautifully. So there's that, and then we have the eyes. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. As soon as you put the face on, it's just like so cute. All right, so there he is. And again, now to put a tea light in there, you would just go, I would go on the back here, and then I would just go ahead and very carefully, and I'm just going to use my tweezers because I feel like I'm all thumbs here. You're going to just pop out one of those panels, all right? And then you can place your tea light or twinkle lights in there and then close it back up. All right, so then you can have it glowing. What a perfect little decor item for Christmas time on your tables for brunch, Christmas dinner. How cute is that? So there's a little snowman. So we'll have him on display at the store. All right, but let's go ahead and now do the tree because the tree's a little bit different because these are kind of all circular. All right, they make this kind of sphere. A lot of them have the sphere, the gnome, the Santa, the Mrs. Claus, the ornament, the penguin. But the tree's a little bit different. All right, so I'm just going to put Mr. Snowman away. And let's take a look at the tree one. This one I hear love. When you look at this one, it's very lime green, but it's a beautiful green. All right, a glitter green. So let's open this one up and let's put this one together. Okay, so again, you're going to have components. These are stars, so we're going to punch them out. And this is on beautiful red glitter paper. All right, now this is going to be one of the bases, I'm going to assume. So I'm going to pop it out of the paper here, the frame. All right, so we have that piece. Then we have our vellum pieces. So I'm just going to move them to the side. And as you can see, these are more of a triangular shape this time. All right, these are our side panels with that beautiful snowflake pattern. So I'm going to pop them out. And you want to be careful, all right? Just be very careful. These are still delicate. It has got a nice weight. It's not super heavy, but it's not super thin. If they put it too heavy, then we wouldn't be able to kind of manipulate it to fit it into the grooves and such. So, but it's not too thin that you're going to rip it when you punch it out. But look how beautiful that is. All right, so let's get the other two out. All right, and then we have the actual tree shape. One and two. All right, and then we have the inside piece here. Also has one of those little square pieces. I'm going to assume that one is for the top. All right, so we're going to put that. This will be discard, and then this is discard. Okay, instructions, like I said, are on the back. We're going to do the same thing as we did with the snowman. We're going to start with our panels and get the vellum pieces behind there. So this one does have 5 pieces as well. We only need 4, so they give you an extra piece for the just in case. All right, so which is lovely. Now I'm just doing the perimeter on here, but if you feel like you need to do a little bit more glue on the pattern, then you do that. For this one here, it won't really matter because there's not really a bend in this one. But for the snowman, some of the elements were kind of bending and then popping up. But I think you'll be okay. But there's that. All right, so let's get them all done. All right, we got one more to do here. I mean, these are really easy. Once you put one together, these go together so much easier. There's no really guesswork. You get how, little slits and tabs all work together. And like I said, you have the instructions as well. And the instructions not only have the written, but also the pictures, which I always appreciate because I'm a visual person. All right, so we have our panels. They're done. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and it says insert die cut 2 into die cut 1. All right, now there is a difference between these two, even though they do look the same. One has a slit coming from the bottom, one has a slit coming from the top. So we're going to take this one, which is number 2, and we are going to, I'm going to do the bottom first. I'm going to just kind of slip them in, and then I'm going to kind of bend that and just insert that star in. All right, so now we have this lovely tree, three-dimensional tree. All right. Okay, that was easy. All right, now we are going to take this piece. This one seems to be a little bit easier. This piece here, this is going to be the base. And so I'm going to, and we're just doing diagonals, all right? So we're just inserting the diagonals at each of the corners. And again, you can slightly bend that paper. All right, and now let's get these all in, the little tabs. This one does not want to lay flat. Which one is not in? All right, that one's in. That one's in. There we go. Now we are flat. All right. So there is our base now. It is down there flat. And now we can put the top piece in. And again, we're going to do the diagonals and there's little slits that these will go in. So I'm going to do one at a time. All right, so that is all in. I'm just going to just make sure they're in. It's laying flat. And now we have one stable Christmas tree. All right, next, I don't even need to look at the instructions because I know what's coming next. We are going to go ahead and put the sides in. All right, so top and bottom. This is a much easier one to do because there's no bending. It's really, you just put in the, I would start with the bottom one and then just slightly bend, put that top tab in, and look at how beautiful that is. Ah, love it. And there we go. Our tree is there. Now, again, if you wanted to put a little tea light or twinkle lights in here, you're just going to pop that. And again, I would probably get a pair of tweezers. Just pop it out. Put your tea light in there, battery operated, or your twinkle lights in there. And now you're going to have that a beautiful glow. All right. Now we are going to put the stars on. And it looks like we need to fold the stars in half. All right, so I am folding the stars in half. And now they are just going to then get glued on to there. So do they all get folded the same way? All right, what I'm going to do is, because I am a perfectionist, I don't like just hand folding something. I like to have a score line. So I'm going to actually score these so that it's going to fold a little bit nicer. And I do recommend that. Just going to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to score each of these in half. So then that just helps the paper crease and it knows where to fold. All right, so I'm going to do that for all of them. I'm probably off camera here. I'm just kind of aligning my star to the very bottom because it has the 2 points. Let me move that up there. All right, so I'm just going to align the star to the bottom here. I'm going to line up my top point to this where the score line is, or where the scoring blade will run. And then very carefully, I'm going to score in half. You can hand fold these. I like everything nice and clean and perfect, right? So an extra little step, I get it, but it's going to pay off, all right? It's just going to be easier. All right, so now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to fold these in half. Oopsie, I guess I should do it, yeah, that way. And this way. Okay, so now they're much better, and now I can go ahead and glue these on, and then that will be done. And again, they will all line up to this. And I do recommend doing liquid glue. This way it will, you can kind of slide it if it's not in perfect position. I know you can't really see what I'm doing because you're in a bird's eye view, but I will hold it up to the camera in just a second. All right, they may not be perfectly glued on, but I will go back and fix. All right, so let me hold this up to the camera now that I have. And there, oops, this one did not line up. There we go. All right, so there we go. We can see the lovely Christmas tree star on top. And what a beautiful lantern. I love the tree. That one's my favorite. All right, so that is CrafTreat's do-it-yourself lanterns. Really simple to do. As you can see, in half an hour, I was able to create 2, no problem. All right, and now, honestly, this is my first time doing these ones. This one's the only one I've done is the ornament before. And so that turned out really, really pretty. I love that. All right, that is it for me for What's Up Wednesday. It's a short one this evening, but I think it's a fun one. And that is it for me. And hopefully you love them. They are all on our website under August releases. And like I said, there's 10 different types, and I can't remember all of them, but they're all on our website. You'll be able to see the pictures there. Super fun, super cute, and super easy to do. All right, everyone, have yourself a great evening. We shall talk to you soon.